This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Karunanidhi justifies the DMK stance on bringing the Prime Minister under Lokpal, says he had included the Chief Minister within the ambit of anti-corruption laws. A heartbroken DMK patriarch pours his heart out about his daughter's condition, says Kanimuri's body is swollen and full of blisters. Justice Thangaraj, a retired judge of the Madras High Court, has been named to probe the deficiencies in the new Secretariat's construction. Even after Amma and Vaiko write to the Prime Minister, there is no sign of the release of the 23 Indian fishermen who were arrested by the Lankan Navy yesterday. A teenager is electrocuted and branded with a hot iron in Kanyakumari. His crime, he couldn't lift a bag that was more than his own weight. Here's the birthday gift actor Vijay expects from his fans, pledging their eyes. Do these shelters for the homeless really serve any purpose? They are not just cramped, but also lack privacy. And the AIADMK's Padakadupaya falls under the MLA monitor today. The harbour anchors its expectations with this multifaceted representative. This is the late night news on NDTV Hindu with me, Evelyn Matthew. Plenty headed your way in the next 30 minutes, but that after the national headlines. The Sonia Gandhi-led National Advisory Council clears the historic food security bill. It will legally entitle 70% of India to subsidized food. After a public rift with the BJP, Munde says he's with his party, quashing reports that he could join the Congress. Is it an insider's job? Questions Sushma Swaraj on bugs found at Pranab Mukherjee's office. He rubbishes it all. The government calls an all-party meet to debate divergences in the Lokpal bill on the 3rd of July, Anna to resume protests in August. Days after Minister Jayapal Reddy's niece, Dr. Kiran Reddy, was murdered, her husband is arrested. The police lathi charge protesters against an eviction drive in Guwahati. Activists claim 3 people, including a 9-year-old, are dead. Our top story at this hour, the DMK patriarch is back in town after visiting his daughter Kanimuri at the Tihar jail, and he seems quite distraught with the state of affairs at Tihar. An upset M. Karunanidhi seemed to pour his heart out at the media, in fact tonight, saying that his daughter's body was swollen and full of blisters, which was because she was shut in prison in an inhuman way. The DMK chief also tacitly said that the Prime Minister should be brought under Lokpal, but maintained clearly, as always, that the DMK Congress ties were still strong. He added that the DMK had included even the chief ministers in the anti-corruption law. And my colleague Lokpriya was at the CIT colony tonight when M. Karunanidhi spoke this evening, right after his arrival. Here's the gist of what he told a few reporters tonight.
We went inside the CIT colony residence of the DMK patriarch Karunanidhi, and we saw Ms. Rajati Ammal sitting there. She was extremely perturbed by the turn of events. She was very sad. And when we questioned about on various issues to Karunanidhi, Karunanidhi said that Kanimuri is being kept in inhuman conditions at the Tihar jail, and that she is not keeping well, and that her body is full of blisters and also of boils. And he said same is the case with Sharat Kumar also. He said that they are not being kept in proper conditions over there, because of which their health has taken a beating. And also, more importantly, on the Lokpal issue, he said that the DMK has had an anti-corruption law in which the CM was brought under the ambit. So that's their view. So very tactically, he says that the Prime Minister needs to be brought under the purview of the Lokpal bill. And he also goes on to add that they were not, that is the DMK, the Congress had not sought the views of the DMK on this particular topic. That was what he had said. And also on Anna Hazare's movement, he said he supports those kind of movements that are supports the movements that are done for goodwill, and doesn't support movements that are not try to threaten the government. So that's his stand over there. And also when questioned about the DMK Congress ties, he said the ties are fine. And also see, he says that he has accused the media once again, and he said it's because of the media's wrong reports that Kanimuri is in jail, and the CBI is also trying to prove those media reports, trying to prove those media reports, and that's the reason for why she's behind jails. When continuously persisted on this question, when asked whom apart from the media that he thinks as the reason for Kanimozhi being behind bars, he said those who are even asking the question can be behind bars. So clearly a very disturbed father over there, and clearly underlining the fact that he had went to Delhi only to meet his daughter Kanimozhi and to inquire about her health, and also to meet the Kalaignar TV MD Sharad Kumar. So a distressed father over there telling that Kanimozhi is being kept in inhumane treatments at the Tihar jail.
So it's been a perfect marriage, but at least as perfect as political alliances can be. 7 long years and ticking. But at a time when civil society is clamoring for a comprehensive Lokpal bill, the DMK has also struck a discordant note. It favors the Prime Minister being brought under the ambit of Lokpal, just like how Lokpriya has been saying there. This has left its ally, the Congress, red in the face, also making a lot of us ask whether this is the beginning of the end of a convenient marriage. My colleague Lokpriya analyzes.
DMK Chief Karunanidhi did not attend the UPA meet, although he was in Delhi. Instead, his messenger T.R. Balu voiced the party's dissent to the UPA stand of leaving the Prime Minister out of the Lokpal purview. The DMK's lone opposition comes at a time when none expected it. In fact, the 7-year tie remained intact even during seat-sharing talks ahead of the assembly elections. It wobbled a bit when Kanimozhi was sent to Tihar jail on May 20th as a co-conspirator in the 2G spectrum scam. But now observers say there is a tension in the tie.
Mr. Karunanidhi told the media that his ties with the Congress remained as strong as ever. At such a juncture, this kind of articulation of views by an important DMK leader on an important issue does give the room for interpretation that the two friends, political friends who have been there for last 7-8 years are beginning to fall apart.
On his earlier visit to Delhi on May 23rd, Karunanidhi had not met Sonia, saying he was on a private visit, and Congress leaders called on him at his hotel. This time around, on his 2-day visit, we have not seen that at all. Observers wonder if it could be a spectrum change, even as some feel that the National Party is already considering its southern ally as excess baggage.
Any immediate possibility of the breakup between the two parties, because local body elections are going to be held sooner in a 2 months' time. So when the DMK is already down, it doesn't want to weaken its base politically further by breaking its ties completely with Congress.
While the DMK might have used the Lokpal bill as a tool to get back at its ally, by doing so, it also seems that it's sending out strong signals ahead of its July 7 General Council meet. The 7-year-old marriage of convenience now appears to be on the brink. Will the bond hold? In Chennai, Lokpriya, NDTV Hindu.
Now, the state government has decided to appoint a commission of inquiry to look into the causes and circumstances that have led to the alleged irregularities in the construction of the new secretariat complex at the Omandurar Estate Complex. That is, Justice S. Thangaraj, retired judge of the Madras High Court, will look into these alleged irregularities such as excess expenditure, loss to the exchequer, inordinate delay and deficiencies in the standards of construction of the complex on Anna Salai. The new complex was built by the earlier DMK regime and had come under the scanner after the new government called it an incomplete building and started functioning from Fort St. George. A report is expected in 3 months. It's been more than a day that 23 of India's fishermen along with their boats have been in the Sri Lankan Navy's judicial custody, but there is still no news of whether freedom will be near for these men. According to sources, the men have all been identified after they were captured by the Sri Lankan Navy yesterday. for allegedly crossing the international maritime boundary line. This even comes after the Chief Minister, Ms. Jayalalitha, urged the Prime Minister Dr. Singh through a letter to intervene and secure the release of those captured, calling the frequent arrests and detention as a vexatious issue and something that was becoming worrisome. The issue has also gained support from another vociferous political leader. The MDMK's chief, Vaiko, has also written to Dr. Singh in a letter asking for his intervention in the release of the fishermen, as the whereabouts of these men still remain unknown. Now, the CPM too has urged the centre to hold talks with the Lankan government to find a permanent solution to this recurring issue.
பொருளாதார தடை வேண்டும் என்று தீர்மானம் போட்டார்களே, ஏற்கனவே இந்திய அரசு அறிவித்திருக்கிற பொருளாதார ஒப்பந்தங்களை ரத்து செய்ய வேண்டும் என்ற கோரிக்கையை ஏன் தமிழக அரசு முன்வைக்கவில்லை? மீனவர்களை தொடர்ந்து தாக்குவதும் கைது செய்து கொண்டு போவதும் இன்னும் எத்தனை நாட்களுக்கு நடக்கப் போகிறது? இந்திய அரசு தமிழர்கள் வாழ்வோடு விளையாடுகிறது. இந்திய அரசு இலங்கை அரசுக்கு எச்சரிக்கை செய்ய இன்றைக்கு முன்வருவதில்லை, கண்டனம் தெரிவிப்பதில்லை. இந்த போக்கு நீடிக்குமானால் மீனவ மக்களின் உள்ளத்தில் இன்றைக்கு ஏற்பட்டிருக்கிற கொந்தளிப்பு கடற்கரை ஓரத்தில் ஆழி பேரலையை போல இந்திய அரசுக்கு எதிராக பிரளயமாக வெடிக்கும். அதற்கு நாங்கள் உடனிருந்து களமாடுவோம்.
Senior correspondent Sam Daniel joined us with more on the developments from the neighbouring island nation and how soon it will take for good news to arrive.
Well, even after Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha sought the intervention of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to secure the release of 23 Indian fishermen from Tamil Nadu who were captured and put behind bars by the Lankan Navy, it appears that these fishermen may have to remain in Sri Lankan jail for quite some time. Today, authorities confirmed that a Sri Lankan court has sentenced them to judicial custody till the 1st of July. So it's going to take quite some time for them to return home to Rameshwaram. At the same time, more political pressure was mounted from Tamil Nadu. MDMK Chief Vaiko wrote to the Prime Minister asking him to intervene to secure the release of these fishermen. At the same time, fishermen in Rameshwaram, the ground zero, continued to boycott or continued to be on protest. They did not venture into the sea for fishing, and they say they're going to be boycotting work till these fishermen return home along with their boats. This is the 4th such incident this year, and so far 6 fishermen have been killed from Tamil Nadu since this January, and this has happened at a time when Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha has been batting for the retrieval of Kachativu, the island India gifted to Sri Lanka in the early 1970s, and she has been claiming that the Indian government has not followed the due procedure for gifting this island to Sri Lanka. She says the parliament has not ratified this, and she also argues that the gifting of the island to Sri Lanka has drastically reduced the fishing space available for Indian fishermen, and she wants the island back. At the same time, so far in the last 20 years, around 300 Indian fishermen have been allegedly killed by the Lankan Navy, and there's more pressure mounting on the centre. While this could be a kind of a delicate diplomatic row for the Indian government, the fishermen in Rameshwaram have a solution in mind. They say the government can even try to enter into a long-term lease agreement with Sri Lanka so that the Sri Lankan government would own that particular island, but Indian fishermen would still be allowed to fish in Lankan waters.
On to some news from the districts now. In a shocking incident in Kanyakumari, a 13-year-old boy from Erode was branded on his cheek by placing a hot iron, all because he refused to carry a consignment that was way too heavy for him. The incident occurred at an electrical shop where he was working during his school vacation. The boy was also allegedly subjected to electric shocks by the owner of the shop. A student of 7th standard, the victim is now being treated for burn injuries. Meanwhile, a case has been registered and the police are investigating the matter. When we come back on this bulletin, an earlier than usual release of men behind bars is questioned. Amma has exactly 3 months to answer.